welcome everyone to the Polity Primer series of Just IAS. My name is Pragya and I am here today with a topic which is in news recently. The title of our today's discussion is Parliamentary Motions. In this today's discussion, we are going to study about the various important motions that can be raised in our Indian Parliament. Before we proceed further, let us analyze the points of discussion of our today's session. So firstly, we'll see what are parliamentary motions. Then we'll study what are the types of motions that can be raised in our Indian Parliament. Then we'll see what is a no confidence motion. We'll also study what is the purpose of bringing a no confidence motion against a ruling party. Then we'll understand what are the important parliamentary procedures in the Indian Parliament. Then we'll discuss Rule 193, which talks about a short duration discussion. We'll also see what is Rule 267 of the Rajya Sabha rules. Then we'll also see what is Rule 184, that is a motion with a vote. Then we'll see what is an adjournment motion. Then we are going to see what is a privilege motion, and in the end we'll see a practice question for your prelims examination and a practice question for your mains examination. The monsoon session of our Indian Parliament is currently going on and various motions are raised on the floor of both the houses of the Parliament. So what are these parliamentary motions? Let us see. Whenever a member of parliament feels that there is an important matter which has arisen in the country, or there is an important public issue which he wants to be debated or discussed on the floor of the houses of parliament, he simply cannot stand up on his seat and say that I want to debate or discuss this topic. He has to bring a formal procedure, and this formal procedure is known as a motion. And a motion allows a member of parliament to express his concern in a democratic way on such matter or such public issue. As a member of parliament is an elected representative of the people in the parliament, so he has also a right to act on those public issue or the matter which is of grave importance. So this is why a parliamentary motion is brought in the house of the parliament. Now let us see what are the types of parliamentary motions that can be raised in our Indian Parliament. So the first type is no confidence motion. It is often brought against the ruling party to state that they have lost the confidence of the majority of the members of the Lok Sabha. Then there is censure motion. Censure motion can be brought in the Parliament as well as the State Legislative Assembly, and it asks the government against their policy, or it can be brought against an individual minister as well. Then there is call attention motion. Call attention motion is raised when the members want to draw the attention of the house on a matter which is of grave public importance. Then there is adjournment motion. Adjournment motion is brought when the members want the house to be suspended, the business of the house to be suspended, to discuss an urgent public issue. So what is the difference between a call attention motion and a adjournment motion? A call attention motion can be raised in both of the houses of the parliament, whereas an adjournment motion can be raised only in the Lok Sabha. Then there is no day yet name motion. No day yet name motion means that the motion has been accepted by the Speaker of the House or the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, but they have not decided a day to discuss this motion. That is why it is called as no day yet name motion. Then there are cut motions. Cut motions are raised by the opposition when it wants to question the government on a specific financial grant they are asking in the finance bill. Then there is privilege motion. It is brought when the parliamentary privileges are breached. Then there is confidence motion. Confidence motion is brought by the government to prove that they still enjoy the confidence of the majority members of the Lok Sabha. So these are the various types of motions that can be raised in our Indian Parliament. Now let us study about the no confidence motion. Article 75 of our Indian Constitution states about the collective responsibility of the Council of Ministers. You might have often heard the phrase that Council of Ministers sink and swim together. Means that the ministry stays in office so long as it enjoys confidence of the majority of the members of the Lok Sabha. In other words, the Lok Sabha can remove the ministry from office by passing a no confidence motion. Notice for such a motion has to be given before 10 am when the House is about to sit. For a no confidence motion to be accepted, it has to be supported by at least 50 MPs. The Speaker has a discretionary power over the admission of a no confidence motion. He can admit the motion or he can also reject the motion. If the Speaker decides to admit the no confidence motion, the Speaker will ask MPs who support the motion to rise at their seats and fix a time for the discussion of the motion. The motion is then discussed on the floor of the House, and at the end of discussion, this motion is put to vote. When passed by a simple majority, the government has to resign. So this no confidence motion is very important because it can lead to the resignation of the government. A no confidence motion is currently being discussed in the monsoon session of our Indian Parliament. So what is the purpose of bringing such a no confidence motion? A no confidence motion acts as a litmus test against the Council of Ministers. It asks the Council of Ministers to prove that they still enjoy the confidence of the majority of the members of the Lok Sabha. The no confidence motion can only be brought in the Lok Sabha. 27 times this motion has been brought, but it could not succeed. None of these motions, including the one against the first Modi government in 2018, has been successful. As I was discussing before, that till date, no confidence motions have not succeeded in the floor of the Lok Sabha. In 1979, Prime Minister Morarji Desai realized that he did not have the support of the majority of MPs, and therefore he resigned before the House voted on the motion. So, in 1979, when the Morarji Desai government was there and a no confidence motion was brought against him, he himself resigned before the no confidence motion could be put to vote against him. Now let us discuss what are the important parliamentary procedures in our Indian Parliament. Members of Parliament in both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha have various procedures to draw attention to relevant issues. As I was discussing before, the members of Parliament both in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha have their democratic way of expressing their concern to a public issue or to a urgent public matter that is happening in the country. So they have various parliamentary procedures to proceed in our Indian Parliament. They are 4 in number. What are these procedures? Let us see. The first one is the debate without voting under Rule 193. Rule 193 also talks about the short duration discussion. A motion with a vote under Rule 184, an adjournment motion and a no confidence motion. So, these are the tools that are available in the hands of the member of parliaments when they want to draw the attention of the House to an urgent important matter which is going on. Now, let us see what is Rule 193, which talks about the short duration discussion. Under Rule 193 of the Lok Sabha rules and Rule 176 of the Rajya Sabha rules, short duration discussions can take place. These discussions require the chairman or speaker's satisfaction that the matter is of urgent and sufficient public importance. So, what is the prerequisite for such short duration discussion to take place? That the matters must be of significant nature and significant public importance. So, this rule is currently in news because in the current monsoon session of our Indian Parliament, the opposition members wanted to have a discussion on the ethnic violence that is taking place in the Manipur. So, although they wanted to discuss it under Rule 267, but the Parliament agreed for a short duration discussion under this rule, that is Rule 193 in the Rajya Sabha and 176 in the Lok Sabha. The discussion can only take place for 2.5 hours, and the speaker of the Lok Sabha or the chairman of the Rajya Sabha has to be satisfied before this motion can be discussed. The chairman or speaker can then fix a date for discussion, allowing a time period of 2.5 hours. So, this is what I mentioned before also, that the time period is 2.5 hours. Disagreements over the rule, this rule only led to the adjournment of the Rajya Sabha when the Manipur issue was being taken up on the floor of the Rajya Sabha. Now let us discuss what is Rule 267. Rule 267 allows for the suspension of rules in the pre-decided business of the day with the approval of the chairman to debate an issue of importance. So, Rule 267 is mentioned in the Rajya Sabha rules, and it allows the suspension of all other rules to discuss a important matter of public importance. Then an MP must give a notice to the Secretary General of the House before 10 am on the day they seek suspension of business to raise an urgent matter. So, this is also a condition that this if MP wants to have a discussion under this rule, he should mention it before the Secretary General of House before 10 am. It is up to the chairman to admit the motion for suspension of rules, completely the discretionary power of the chairman. He can admit this motion under this rule, or he can also reject a motion under this rule. If the chairman allows, the motion is put to vote. The rule, however, does not apply in cases where specific provisions already exist for the suspension of a rule. So, this is a limitation on the Rule 267, that whenever there are specific rules that suspend all of the business, this rule cannot be made applicable. Notably, Rule 267 is very different from the adjournment motion in the Lok Sabha. We often use Rule 267 in the interchangeably with the adjournment motion in the Lok Sabha, but this Rule 267 is very different from an adjournment motion in the Lok Sabha. We will be discussing about the adjournment motion in the Lok Sabha in our further slides. So, now let us see what is Rule 184, a motion with a vote. The procedure for taking up an issue under this rule is similar to that of Rule 193 with one exception. So, what is a difference between a short duration discussion and a motion with a vote? The procedures are very similar, but there is one difference, that under 184 the motion is put to vote, but under 193 the motion is not put to vote. The issue is raised in the form of a motion. After the minister's reply, the House votes on the motion. So, this is a very important difference between Rule 193 and Rule 184, that whenever the minister is asked to reply on certain public issue, the motion is then put to vote in the floor of the House. The motion should not contain arguments, inferences, ironical expressions, imputations or defamatory statements. It must be restricted to a recent occurrence and cannot pertain to a matter pending before any statutory authority, commission or a court of inquiry. So, these are the limitations which is put on a motion under this rule. Now, let us discuss what is an adjournment motion. An adjournment motion is introduced in the parliament to draw attention of the House to a definite matter of urgent public importance, and this motion also needs the support of 50 members to be put in the House. So, an adjournment motion is put in place in the Lok Sabha whenever a matter of urgent public importance has to be discussed. Adjournment motion was also very much in use when the opposition wanted to discuss the ethnic violence which is happening in the Manipur. For this motion also to take place, it has to be put before 10 am to the Secretary General of the Lok Sabha. This motion is not available in the Rajya Sabha, as it interrupts the normal business of the House. It is regarded as an exceptional device. So, why it is regarded as an extraordinary device? Because it is not feasible to interrupt the day-to-day business of a House on a daily basis. That is why it is regarded as an extraordinary device. The discussion on an adjournment motion should not last for less than 2 hours and 30 minutes. Then, passage of an adjournment motion does not require the government to resign. However, it is seen as a strong censure of the government. As it is a strong censure of the government, that is why it is not available in the Rajya Sabha. We were seeing that this motion cannot be raised in the Rajya Sabha. Why? Because it is a strong censure of the government. It can only be raised in the Lok Sabha, because the Council of Ministers are responsible to the Lok Sabha. It originated in the House of Commons in the United Kingdom and started its journey in India under the rules of the pre-independent bicameral legislature established under the Government of India Act 1919. So we have taken most of our laws and rules from the United Kingdom, and this was also taken from the rules of bicameral legislature which existed in the Government of India Act 1919. So this was all about the adjournment motion. Now let us discuss what is a privilege motion. A privilege motion can be brought against both members and non-members of the parliament. So who are those non-members of the parliament? Whenever you see a live proceedings on the floor of the house of the parliament, either on Lok Sabha TV or Rajya Sabha TV, you see there is a dedicated space for the MPs to sit. But there are also galleries in which people are sitting to watch the proceedings of the house. So if they also breach the parliamentary privileges of an MP, a privilege motion can be passed against them also. That is why it is saying that it is available to both members and non-members of the parliament. If any member feels that the minister has misled the house by supplying incorrect information, they can introduce a privilege motion against a minister. A recent example of this is a privilege motion against the TMP MP Derek O'Brien. A similar privilege motion is also debated against the AAP MLA Raghav Chadha, because he has shown that the signatures are there on the Delhi Services Bill. So that is why it is considered as a breach of privilege of a MP. The MP state that he has forged the signature and not really obtained them through lawful means, and that is why a privilege motion can be admitted against him in the current monsoon session of the Indian Parliament as well. So privilege motions are admitted when there is a breach of parliamentary privileges of the member of the house. So what are these parliamentary privileges? They are certain rights available to the member of parliaments. For example, the right of free speech and expression, and they cannot be called in any court if they are having a discussion on the floor of the parliament. So when these privileges are breached, a privilege motion is accepted in the parliament. There is no codified list of exact privileges, but it includes the right of free expression in the course of parliamentary debates, and they will not be liable to any court for this. As I was discussed before, they cannot be made liable for any of the discussion they are holding in the floor of the house. Article 105 of our Indian Constitution talks about the parliamentary privileges that are available to the members of the parliament. If there is a belief that such a privilege has been breached, a motion can be raised by any member. It can be admitted by the presiding officer. They can then refer it to the Privileges Committee. So there is a dedicated Privileges Committee to look into the breach of privilege, and the Privilege Committee, after examining various issues, will call to take an action or not, and it will also submit a report. Till now, 11 times this privilege motion has been raised in 1990, but it has not led to any penal action. The right to raise a question of privilege is based on satisfying two conditions. Namely, the question shall be restricted to a specific matter of recent occurrence. So the matter should not be stale, it should be of a recent occurrence, and the matter requires the intervention of the House. So for the privilege motion to be accepted, the intervention of the House is required. Why? Because the House will then examine, the Privilege Committee will then examine that whether there is an actual breach of privilege, parliamentary privilege or not. That is why it requires the intervention of the House. So this was all about the privilege motion. With this, we conclude the discussion today. We have seen what are the types of motions, we have seen what are exactly parliamentary motions, and we have also analyzed the important parliamentary motions which is in news recently. So now let us see a practice question for your prelims examination. Consider the following statements. Statement number 1. No confidence motion can be initiated only in the Rajya Sabha. Statement number 2 states adjournment motion can be initiated in the Rajya Sabha, and the statement number 3 is privilege motion can be initiated in both the houses of the parliament. Which of the statements given above are correct? Your options are 1 only, 1 and 2 only, 3 only, and 1, 2 and 3. So your correct answer will be option 3, 3 only. A privilege motion can be initiated in both the houses of the parliament, whereas a no confidence motion can be initiated only in the Lok Sabha, as we have discussed, and an adjournment motion can also be initiated only in the Lok Sabha. Why? Because it is a strong censor of the government. Now let us see a practice question for your mains examination. The question is, motions in the parliament are an effective democratic way to raise dissent, comment. Kindly attempt this answer for your mains examination. I hope this session was insightful for you. If you found this discussion helpful, kindly like the video and subscribe to our channel for more such updates. Thank you.